Hey dolls, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm gonna tell you how can you create this mauve kind of in a look easy way, so let's get started. First, I'm gonna apply a clear brow gel from Root Cosmetics over my brow so that they'll stay in place for long. I'm gonna use a all that palette from ColourPop to create this look. I'm using a 13 brush from ColourPop to apply eye base, which is from MAKEUPBYALEES. Make sure to apply it evenly and perfectly in tapping motions. I'm taking the shade Uncuffed from the palette to highlight in my brow bone and inner corner with a flat brush. Sometimes I highlight in these parts after doing my makeup or sometimes before the makeup. Just make sure you apply it perfectly and do not leave it unblended. Now I'm going to take this shade Cha-Cha from the palette with a brush from ColourPop E2. The brush has a fluffier bristles. I'm applying it right into the depth of my eye and shifting it a little above to my transition area. Make sure to build the color gradually because it's kind of a mid-tone look. It's not a super dark or a pigmented. Just build the color gradually the way I'm doing here. Take it slowly so you won't have to try hard to blend everything. I'm going with a circulars and a back and forth motions so that this clear will get very well blended. Next, taking these shades Wink Wink and Silhouette with the same brush from ColourPop. Applying the shade right at the corner of my eye and blending it in. This shade will give a definition to your eye. Make sure to apply it super carefully. Like I said, we will build every color gradually, so this is what I'm doing here. First, I'm applying the shade in shade C and dragging it in. Make sure to blend it very well in circulars and back and forth motions. Next, I'm using a brush from Profusion Cosmetics to revive the shade Cha-Cha so it won't look faded or unblended. Keep your motions back and forth here. I'm only using a tip of my bristles, not putting too much pressure over the brush, so make sure you won't put too much pressure over the brush or everything will get messed up. Next, taking the shade Silhouette with a brush from Katy. It's E30, which is a small tapered brush. Applying it super carefully with a medium pressure over my brush so that the color will get deposited. This color is basically a most important element of this whole makeup. I'm applying this color into the depth of my eye and outer corner of my eye, the outer one basically, so that will give definition to this whole look and the main element, the mauve. Just make sure to blend it very well in circulars, back and forth. Applying another coat of the same color. Like I said, build the color gradually. C is what I have drawn over here. Alphabet C. Blended, 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 blend. If your blending is on point, everything will look good in the end, so make sure to spend time over it. Next, using this single shadow from ColourPop, let's do it. You can use any black color. With a small fluffy brush from Wet n Wild, which has a tightened bristles. I need a little more definition over the corner of my eye, so I'm applying this color right over there. With this trick, I'll get the darker version of the same color that I have applied before because I took a very small amount of the black, so yes. Now taking the shade Cha-Cha again with the same brush from ColourPop, the fluffier one, Tap it off so no excess shadow. Reviving the color again with a super light pressure. I do revive the colors or reapply the shadows like many times so that nothing will look faded. Plus this color will give me a blended effect that I want. So yes, back and forth, circulars. Next, taking this shimmery shadow fishnets with a flat brush for my lid. Applying it right over my lid area very carefully so that it won't get spreaded. After doing this, I'll take a shade silhouette to give details with this part with the brush from Carity E30, the small tapered brush. Blend it all very well. Now taking this pressed glitter from the palette uncensored for my lids with a flat brush to give this sparkly kind of a effect. Just press the glitter with your brush, do not drag it. Cover the areas very carefully with your brush. Using a Huda Beauty Lifeliner creamier side for my waterline. It's super creamy, I love it. It's so good, so pigmented. It's one of my favorite eyeliner. Now taking the same shade, let's do it with a flat brush for my lower lash line. I'm just smoking it out a little. This just looks so pretty. It actually gives definition to your whole look. Now taking this small fluffy brush F22 to blend this black color out. It's super detailing brush, I love it. Now taking the darkest color from the palette, Please Me and Cha-Cha, and applying it right over my lower lash line to smoke it out. Now taking pressed glitter again from my lower lash line, applying it to the inner side only. Do not leave the glitter deposited, just blend it a little so that it will get spreaded. For liner, I'm using B5 liner from ColourPop. I forgot to press the button to record the video. I'll give it another coat with a Huda Beauty Lifeliner liquid side so that it will look intensified and more black, you know. Clean up the edges, I always use a concealer. Give it a little bit of blend again. Next, using a volumizing mascara from Sam Marceau. This is one of my favorites. The wand is so cool. Using lashes in style Sasha from Huda Beauty. And here we go. Hope you guys like this look, and if you do, please go subscribe to my channel, like the video, and leave your requests in the comment section. Bye dolls. See you next time.